Data from the TFAH, or Trust for America's Health organization, indicates that as of 2023, 41.9% of adults in America suffer from obesity. Most people are aware of the many new fad diets and weight loss practices that become extremely popular seemingly overnight. They generally target people with obesity and offer quick and easy ways to lose weight. Sometimes it is just an excuse to manipulate consumers into buying a product, and other times they are the real deal and can greatly impact one's health and weight. Most notably in recent history is the keto diet. Now, as somebody who went from 275 pounds to 195 pounds and followed the keto diet for most of that journey, I can use a lot of my personal experience to talk about what the diet is and how it works. To understand how the diet works, it's important to cover the kind of foods you eat when following it, learning how the food promotes weight loss, and how it affects one's overall health. The keto diet consists of foods that are low in carbs and sugar, and generally those foods are going to be high in fat and protein. So, some foods you would see in that diet are protein sources like beef, pork, poultry, fish, cheese, and eggs. And then there's the high fat foods, which are foods like seeds, nuts, avocados, and even butter is acceptable. As for drinks, typically you're just going to have water or zero sugar beverages. And as for the foods to avoid, the list is quite extensive. Foods not allowed on a ketogenic diet include sugary items, grains, and starches, and even vegetables have ingredients like that. Bread, alcohol, fruit, and legumes. Now that we know what you can eat on the diet, how does it help you lose weight? Well, the answer to that is ketones. So, ketones can be best described as super fuel for the brain, according to NIH researcher Richard Veech, MD. When you have a diet of low carbs and low sugar, eventually your body will reach a state of ketosis. Generally, that's going to happen after 2 to 4 days of following that diet. However, there's room for error due to age and weight and all sorts of stuff like that. Now, ketosis is when, due to a lack of carbs and sugar, there is a low amount of glucose or sugar to use as fuel. And because of this, the body has to break down fat, which creates chemicals known as ketones, which are used as fuel in the absence of glucose. Now, during the period of ketosis, body fat is slowly but surely decreasing as it continues to be broken down into ketones for fuel and exiting the body through urine, resulting in noticeable weight loss. Now that we understand how a keto diet helps with weight loss, how does it affect one's overall health? Weight loss isn't always necessarily an indicator whether or not something is healthy. And the keto diet is an example of this in some extent. The answer to that isn't exactly straightforward because the keto diet allows for so many different foods and ingredients, and they all have an excess of saturated fats, sodium, and calories. Well, depending on what kind of foods you include in your diet. The diet is also very young, and we are unable to see the long-term effects for following it for decades at a time. There is a lot of evidence showing the benefits of the diet, which include improved cholesterol, blood pressure, and blood sugar. One of the least mentioned benefits that go unnoticed in modern history is actually the fact that the diet itself was developed and named in the 1920s to treat children with seizure disorders, and there's plenty of evidence that shows it does work in reducing seizures. In summary, the keto diet, while it's not a perfect diet, can still be an incredible tool that has an abundance of weight loss and health-related benefits. Obesity is an issue that an overwhelming percentage of the population suffer from, now more than ever. It's easy for people to get caught up in the latest fad diets and trends. And for people who genuinely want to improve their health, the best thing you can do is research diets, figure out the best meal plans that works for you personally. At the end of the day, there is no right answer. There is no shortcut to being healthy. The keto diet is no exception to that and is simply one option among thousands.